In the previous video, we deployed our test to the home page. In this video, we will go into the student preview mode and submit the test as a student would. Then we will grade the test as an instructor. To demonstrate how a student takes the test, let's go back to the home page and we'll go into the student preview. We are now looking at this course as a student. I'm going to scroll down and this is where the test has been made available. I'm going to click on the test title, and before I begin, I see the description, I see the instructions, I know the time limit, and I also know that this test will save and submit automatically when time expires. The system also tells me that this test does not have forced completion, which means I can save the test and resume it at any point, but the timer will continue to run if I leave the test. I also know that I have multiple attempts for this test. Once I've reviewed all these instructions, I'm going to click Begin, and this is the test canvas or the test questions. As you can see, the instructions are once again presented to me at the very top, and here is the timer and a question completion status. I can scroll down to see all the questions, and I can see the point value for every question. I can select the answer choices and they are automatically saved without me having to save them. As you can see, it automatically saved my answer choice. I can select the answers Since this test does not have force complete, I am able to exit the test and come back and take it, although time will keep running. So once I have completed the test, you'll see at the very top, if I expand the question completion status, it tells me that I have attempted all the 6 questions. The last step is to save and submit. When I click submit, a message pops up saying that this is a confirmation of submission. I'm going to click OK. I see a submission window that tells me when I started the test, when I submitted the test, how much time I used. If I click OK, this test was set up to show me how I fared on the test. So I'm able to see how much I scored, how much time I took, and I'm able to see the questions that I viewed. So this is the student's experience of taking the test we just created. I'm going to exit the preview to go back into instructor mode. And now I'm back in the course as an instructor. I'm going to go into the Grade Center. This is the column pertaining to my test, and you can see that the student preview user has a grade of 7. If I hover my mouse on the cell next to the student's score and click the drop down, it will show me an attempt with a timestamp and the score. If I click on that attempt, it pulls up the student's attempt on this test. At the very top, you have test information. If you expand that, you can see more information about the student's actual attempt. You can pull up the access log to see how much time the student spent on each question. Scroll down to view each question and the grade. Notice that this is editable, which means as an instructor, you can change the grade at this point. At the very end, you have the option to enter a feedback to the learner, and to enter grading notes that are visible to only you and your TA. You can also edit the score right here. In other words, overriding the score. To ignore the attempt or give the student another chance, you can go into View Grade Details and you have the option to ignore the attempt. Ignoring the attempt will open up the attempt for the student to take the test again. Clearing the attempt means you wipe out the grade and the student's attempt from the system. We do not recommend clearing a student's attempt.